Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this tutorial I am going to show you how we can implement drawer navigation in Expo router. So here we can see an app layout. Here we have this app bar and we have the bottom tab navigator. And here in this app bar at the left side we have this hamburger menu icon, and if we click on that, then our drawer will appear. Here we can see we have some custom design, and then we have the drawer navigation items. Here we are at the feed screen, so this navigation item is active, and here also we can see at the bottom tab we have this feed tab active. So actually in this tutorial we are not only learn to implement this drawer navigator only, but we will also learn how to nest different navigator in Expo router. As you can see, we have this bottom tab navigator, and here we have this feed screen and this profile screen. And if we see this drawer, then we can see we are at the profile screen, and that is updated in the drawer navigation items also. So right now this profile is active, and here we can see profile is active in the tab also. And we have only these two items in the tab, but in the drawer we have more than that. We have this favorite screens and we have the setting screens also, right? But these are not part of the bottom tab, but these two are. So we have already implemented this bottom tab navigation and the stack navigation before in my previous tutorial. So if you haven't seen that video, I will request you to see that tutorial first and then come to this video. Then it will be helpful to you to understand everything clearly. So this is what we are going to implement today in this tutorial. So if you are interested in these kinds of tutorial, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon so that you get notified whenever I post a new tutorial on this channel. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here our project is running, and as I mentioned earlier that these are the things which I have shown you previously in my last tutorial. These are the things which I have already shown you there. This stack navigator, how to create this model, and this tab navigator. And today we are going to implement the drawer navigator with this tab navigator. So to implement drawer navigator, first we need to install some packages. So let's go to the Expo router documentation, and here we need to go to this guides, and within it under this advanced section we have this drawer item, and here we can see to use drawer navigator you will need to install some extra dependencies, and these are the dependencies. And here I'm copying this, and let's stop this server and paste it here, and now hit enter to install it. So it has been installed, and now let's see we have some configuration. So here I need to add this line to babel.config.js. so here is the file, and here I have added it. Now let's run our project. So now we can start implement it. So here with this tab navigation I want to implement the drawer navigation. So here I will create a directory for drawer within this parenthesis like this, and within it I will move this tab, and within this drawer I will create a layout file, and for this layout I will use drawer which needs to be imported from Expo router drawer. So let's reload it. Let's see. Okay, let's rebuild the app. Yes, so it's working right now. It's showing this error. So here it is mentioning that no route name tabs exist, and here it is. So we need to add the drawer here. Okay, it will not be tabs drawer, it will be only drawer. Now let's click here. Here we can see we have this drawer navigator present, right? So By just implementing this layout and adding this drawer component, we have the drawer present. Now obviously we need to work on it to achieve what we want exactly, but that is how we can add the drawer. Now here we can see we have this tabs item present, but we don't want it because it doesn't make any sense and it is not useful for us. So we want to change it, and to change it, here we need to use this drawer content prop, and let's create a custom drawer content component and pass these props to this component. And here we can create that custom drawer component, and here we need to provide this drawer content scroll view and destructure all the props over here. So after saving it, here we can see the tabs item is gone. So whatever we will present here, that will be displayed here. So here we have the drawer item from React Navigation drawer, and as I mentioned you earlier in my previous tutorial that Expo router is built on top of React Navigation. So these are the components which is from React Navigation, and we are directly fetching it from that. And it will work here also, as it will work for any project with React Navigation implemented on it. Let's add a drawer item. So here let's first provide the label, and first item we have feed, and with the label we can provide icon, and with the icon we will get this color and size prop, and I'm going to use icon similar to this. So let me copy it from here, and this line also, which is for vector icons package. And then for the on press of it, we need to use router.push, and I have already discussed these things in detail in my previous tutorial. So here I'm not discussing it further, but it is going to push the router to this, which we will present here in this string. So here for the feed, it should be like this. So now save it. After saving it, let's reload the app. Why it is not showing over here? Let me see what is the issue over here. Okay, I have made a silly mistake. Here we need to return it, and within the return we need to provide all of these things. Now save it, and now here we can see the drawer item, right? So that's how our drawer item is showing over here. Let's see, let's go to the profile. So we are at the profile page, and here also we have the drawer. So let's click on feed. So we are at the feed page. So this router push is working perfectly fine, and we can see the drawer items. So let's copy this drawer item for the other items such as profile, and here it will be profile. Now let's save it. So here we have the profile, and here we have the feed. It is working seamlessly with the tab, right? Now let's add two more screens over here, which will be within this drawer, but those will not be part of the tab navigator. So here within this drawer, let's create favorites.js, and it will be similar to this page. So I'm just copying this content from here, and let's paste it here. And we don't need this router for this page, so I'm getting rid of this, and it will be our favorites page. Similarly, let's copy this thing for another page, which is settings.js, and here it will be settings. So here let's create the drawer item for those as well. So let's copy it, and here it will be favorites, and then we have the settings. So here we can see we are at the settings page, we are at the favorites page, we are at the profile, and we are at the feed, right? So everything is working perfectly fine as it should for the drawer navigator. So the functionality is good. Now let's improve this UI a bit. So first I am going to change these icons. So for the profile, here we have the icon and I can get the icon from that. So here from the tab layout we have this. So let's copy it from here and I can use that for the profile. And for the sizes, I'm going to use the size which have been passed here. Then for the favorites, let's go to Expo vector icons, and here I'm going to use this favorite outline from material icons. And after that, for these settings, let's check another icon. So here I'm going to use settings outline from icon. Now I want to reduce the space between the icon and the label, and for that here I can provide label style. So here for the margin left I will use -20, and for the font size of this label I'm going to use 18. So it's looking good. So let me just copy it from here and create the style sheet. So we need to import style sheet from React Native and then create styles here. So here I will name the style as nav item label and paste it here. Now after that, let's use the style for this label style. Now save it. It's same as before. Now let's implement it for all the items. So now it's looking good. Now we need to implement the active drawer item colors. Right now it is same for all the items. So if we are at the profile, here we can see on the tab we have something which represents that it is currently active, but for the drawer we don't have anything because we have implemented it by using custom drawer component. So that's why we need to implement that as well, and that we can do by path name. Let me show you how we can implement that. So here I am going to create a constant called path name, and here we will use this use path name hook, which is from export outer. So it has been exported from that, and within use effect hook, let me show it to you how it works. So whenever the path name changes, that time I want to output it in our console. So now save it. After saving it, here we can already see this profile output. So the path name is profile for this page. So we are at the profile page. We have the profile path name. Similarly, let's go to feed. Let's go to favorites. For the favorites, we have the path name as favorites, and for the settings we have the settings. So here we can see we have distinct path name for each screens, and by checking this we can implement our custom colors to the items, which is the icon, the label, right? Now we need to implement that. So here let's check for the path name. If the path name is feed, then the color of this icon should be white, otherwise it should be black. For the label style also it will be similar to this. So I'm just copying it and paste it here, and it will be color. So these are the color for these items. Now we need to change the background color of this drawer item, and that we can do by providing the style. And here let's provide the background color, and similarly when it is active, that time I want to change the color to this dark color, and normally it will be white. So now let's save it. We are at the settings page. Now let's go to feed. We are at the feed screen. Now we can see that it is active, right? So that's how we can implement it. Now let's go to the other screen. So this is not been implemented yet, so it's not showing that. So let's implement these dynamic colors for each drawer item. Okay, so we have already copied all these dynamic colors for each drawer item. Now we need to update these path names for each of the items. So first we have the feed level. So the path name is feed, it is correct. Now next we have the profile. So here we need to change the path name to profile. Similarly, here it will be favorites. Then we have settings. So now we can see clearly from these drawer items that we are at the profile page. Now let's go to the favorites. So here the favorites is activated and so on, right? So it's working as it should. So we are almost done with the tutorial. Now I want to display some user information above these drawer items, and that is easily achievable by adding custom components to this section. So here let's add a view. Within this view I'm going to add an image, and this image needs to be imported from React Native, and for the source of it I'm going to use URI, and I'm going to fetch the image from the internet. So that's why I have used URI. Now let's use same height and width for the image. Then create another view, and within this view let's provide some text. Here it will be the username and then the user email. So here is the content. Now let's implement the styling of it. So here I'm going to name this as user info wrapper, and let me implement that style here. So first the flex direction will be row. By default it is column, but I want these two things beside each other, and that's why I have this image and this view. So these two elements will be beside each other by using this flex direction row. And then for the padding horizontal I will use 10. For padding vertical I will use 20. Add border bottom. So for the border bottom color I will use this gray color, and for the border bottom width I will use 1 pixel, and let's provide some margin at the bottom as well. So here we can see it is a divider for these two sections, right? Now let's add styles for the other items. So here for the image it will be user image. Then for this view I will create user details wrapper, username. For the email I will create styles user email. So first we have the user image, and for the user image I will use border radius 40, so it becomes rounded image. Now after that the user details wrapper, which means the view which is wrapping these two text, I will use margin top 25, and then let's provide some space here, and for that it will be margin left 10. After that we have username, and for the username I am going to use 16 pixel font size, and the font weight will be bold. And for the user email it will be same font size. For font style I will use italic, and for the text decoration line it will be underline. So that's what we want. So we have customized the drawer successfully. That's done, but here we can see that it is not looking good. We have two header navigator here that we need to get rid of, and for that here in this drawer component for screen options we can add header shown as false. So here we can see that for feed and for profile we have the header as previously what we had, and for the favorites, for the settings we don't have anything. So we need to have those header for these items. So we can add that like this. So here it will be drawer.screen, and here we need to provide the name of the screen, which is favorite, and for the options of it let's add header shown as true. So now let's go to the favorites. So here we can see it has been added, and along with it we have this hamburger menu icon also to open the drawer. So let's copy this for the settings, and with this we have app bar present for the settings also, right? Now let's go to profile, but here we don't have the hamburger menu. To open the drawer, we have the header, but we don't have that button. To implement that, let's go to this tab layout where we have this header implemented, right? And here for the screen options for these tabs, we can add header left, and for the header left we can add drawer toggle button, and that will be imported from React Navigation drawer. Now save it. With the saving, we can see we have this button present for the profile screen. Now let's go to the feed. Here also we have that. So that's how we can implement the drawer navigator completely. And if we want to change the color from blue to another color, that will be the tint color, and here we can add any color. Let's add a black color. So here it has been changed, right? So that's how we can implement the drawer navigator in Expo Router, and that's how we can implement nested drawer and tab navigator in Expo Router. So this is the tutorial, guys. I hope you have learned something new from this tutorial. If you do so, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and let me know by commenting down below. If you have any kind of suggestion for me, then also let me know. And don't forget to share this tutorial with your friends and colleagues, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. In the meantime, have a great day. Goodbye.